Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. It's Wicked Wednesday. It's Werewolf Wednesday. How are y'all doing? It's Live with Kristy Day. Thank you for coming in. And I have lots to talk about with this one. The Nightmare podcast this week, we watched Insidious Red Door. So we will be talking about that on the Nightmare podcast. That will air Friday here on the YouTube. Make sure you're liking, commenting, and subscribing. But we will be talking about the entire franchise, too. All the movies, as you see here in front of me. I'll discuss some of those, too. And I have a few other movies that I've watched I'll discuss. And obviously, we've got some new products, too, for me to talk about. So I'm excited about some of these new products. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in, David. I really appreciate it. The Collector, August, Jeff. Hello. Thank you. How are y'all doing? Let's see. Pecan wood all day. This is how I unwind on a Wednesday. Sawing and splitting pecan wood. Ooh. Pecan wood. Huh. I think I've ever heard of pecan wood. Does it smell like pecans? Just saying. Hello from the further, right? Love the further. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about Insidious. I guess let me just talk about the whole franchise really quick. I don't want to talk too much about it because, again, I want you to watch the Nightmare podcast. So I think my favorite one, I did mention this, my favorite one is part 3, Insidious 3. I just found that one to be the creepiest and the freakiest, and the jump scares scared me the most and everything. So I think part 3 is actually my favorite, when I know a lot of people actually say part 1. Of course. Hello, Joseph. How are you feeling? How are you doing? But I do love part 3. And then if I ranked them 3, 1, 2, 5, and 4. 4 is kind of my least favorite, and it was Brian's least favorite as well. But in all these movies, you get so many different types of characters as far as all the entities and the demons, and all the dead people, everything that you got going on in the further. The further is what they kind of call like another dimension that's not heaven or hell or anything like that. And so they call it the further. Elise, who is played by Lynn Shay, she's the one that calls it the further. I love Lynn Shay. It's a great cast in all of these movies. I have yet to meet Lynn Shay. I really would like to meet her. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Hello, Jack. Hello, Zachary. 3 is about... See, somebody agreed with me. When I posted about this, most everybody says 1, which, of course, I understand. But somebody agreed with me, part 3. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Jack. Feeling great a second. Oh, good. Oh. Well, I wish I can give you a big hug right now, Joseph. We missed you at Texas Frightmare. The ghost dimension. There you go. The ghost dimension. Thank you. But I think, like, I don't want to talk about part 5 too much, because if you watch our podcast, there's going to be spoilers on the Red Door. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers on the Red Door before you watch it, then you might not want to watch the podcast until after you watch the movie, because there's tons of spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody right now, but I did enjoy the Red Door. The story does go back to part 1 and 2 with Josh and Dalton and the Lambert family, which was nice. And the kids, all the original actors for the kids in 1 and 2 are the actual kids, actual actors in part 5, which I thought was really interesting, that they brought all them back. That was really nice. Dalton has grown up. But in this one, he goes off to college, and he's an artist, and he ends up painting the Red Door, and things happen. So I don't want to really talk about it too much. it's fairly new. I went and watched it last night. But I did enjoy it, though. I did enjoy it. I think there were a few moments in there that were a bit drawn out, or maybe a bit boring in such a way. They kind of go back and forth from the dad, Josh, and Dalton a lot, and what's going on with them, and everything. They go back and forth. I will say this. Just a very itty bitty small spoiler about one of the ghosts, one of the entities that is in Red Door. I'm going to call him the puking ghost, and he was really cool and disgusting all at the same time. So I think that particular ghost entity, whatever, in the Red Door is probably my favorite. That was just so gross. I am not good with puke. And they really did it up with some puke with that particular ghost. So he was my favorite. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I give it a good 7 out of 10. So I highly recommend it, especially if you really like the Insidious franchise. Then you do need to go watch this. And they had, hello, Michael. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Hello, Elaine. How are you? Patrick Wilson because of Insidious and The Conjuring. Yes. Well, I can't wait to see you next year, Joseph. I agree with what you just said, Jeff. Jeff said he's grown respect for Patrick Wilson because of the Insidious and The Conjuring movies. I totally agree. Yeah, he's done an amazing job with both franchises, which is really cool that he's in both franchises. So I had asked Brian the question. I was like, do you think that the Insidious franchise, like the entities and the demons, those things, do you think they could go right into the Conjuring franchise? Because there's so many in that franchise too, so many entities and demons and whatnot in that one too. So maybe they're all in the same world. I don't know. You never know. I just kind of started thinking about that, Same writers and directors. Hello, that horror couple. How are y'all doing? Hello, Robbie and Kaylee. Thank you for watching. Oh, good. Good. Elaine, you should like it then. If you like the Insidious franchise, you'll like this new one. I thought it was really good. Yes, and Patrick, thank you very much, Jeff. Patrick Wilson also directed the Red Door too, if y'all didn't know that. He sure did. At my movie theater, I did post some pictures on my Instagram. They had like a big cardboard cutout Red Door thing that you can take pictures with. If you haven't seen my Instagram, go on there and you'll see. So that was pretty cool at the movie theater to take pictures with. I know some people said they had stuff like that at their theater, and then some theaters didn't have anything. Hello, Zombie Momsen. How are you? Thank you for joining in. Oh, thank you so much. I love y'all, Robbie and Kaylee. If y'all aren't following that horror couple on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, they're on all social media. I think they have a TikTok as well. They are the cutest couple. They both love horror, Robbie and Kaylee, and you should go follow them. They have a great podcast, and they're just really good people. They live here in Vegas, so they come to my signings in my store all the time. So, and me and Brian have just become good friends with them. So I highly suggest y'all go follow that horror couple. Hello, Anthony. How are you? Demons are real and terrifying. Hello, 478X. They are terrifying. There's all sorts of different types of demons out there, I think. I have not gotten the Scream 6 DVD or Blu-ray or anything yet. I need to go get that, but I have not purchased it for my collection yet. But I do need to get it. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was me and Brian talked about that too on the podcast. It was fun to watch all of these movies. I've never just sat down and had, just watched all of them in a row. And that was fun. I'm glad I did that. Because honestly, I own 4, but I really didn't remember it that much. And Brian had said the same thing. It's really funny. We said the same thing about part 4. But I like the backstory of Elise in part 4. I do like that. But I do think it's probably the weakest one, though. But I do like Elise. All right, so let's talk about some other movies. I don't even know what to talk about first. Let's talk about Summer of Fear. Let's talk about that movie. Because I feel like Summer of Fear is a very underrated Wes Craven TV movie. Some people know about it. Some people don't. It is on Tubi. If you want to go watch it. I did make a post when I was watching it the other day. I need to buy it for my collection. I think I put it on my Amazon wish list. I need it for my collection. I really love it. I had done this for another podcast, but we both ended up having technical difficulties, and then we ended up not doing the podcast, but we were going to talk about Summer of Fear. So that's why I ended up rewatching it, and now I just want to talk about it with y'all because I just feel like it's worth talking about because no one does. And we all love Wes Craven, but this is a TV movie from 1978 that, not a lot of people know that Wes Craven did this movie. It has Linda Blair in it. We all love Linda Blair. I remember when I posted this, somebody said you could get lost in her hair. I just chuckled because when I was watching it, and I've watched it a few times, when I was watching, I was like, God, her hair is just huge. She's got some big hair in this movie. She does. And it's about an hour and 32 minutes. It's interesting, PG-13 and being on TV in 1978. But yeah, you got all the cheesy practical effects from back then. This movie is about witchcraft. Okay. The original title to it was called Stranger in Our House, but they changed it to Summer of Fear, which I like that title better, Summer of Fear, because back then, at that time, you already had When a Stranger Calls already and all that. So I like Summer of Fear. Just kind of, it's a little more catchy, in my opinion. But again, it's about witchcraft, and Linda Blair, her and her family, they have a cousin who they think is their cousin. They have a cousin who is coming to stay with them because her parents died, got in a car wreck. And so this cousin is coming to stay with them. And things just kind of start happening. Things just start getting a little weird and stuff. And they find out towards the end that, she's a witch. And yeah, she kind of torments Linda Blair throughout it. But I know it's a really decent movie. It's also Fran Drescher's first TV appearance. Fran Drescher was the nanny, if you did not know that. I love her. I think she's absolutely beautiful. And it was her first TV appearance, so she's in this too. A lot of good actors in this movie. So I highly, highly, highly suggest Summer of Fear. It's a good summer horror movie to watch, and if you are a big fan of Wes Craven and Linda Blair, then you will love this movie. So go watch it. It is on Tubi. What are y'all saying? Tubi is competing with Shudder. You know what, though? I love some Tubi. I haven't really watched a lot of stuff on Shudder, unless it might be some kind of new movie that's only on Shudder. Other than that, or, and Joe, Bob, and Darcy, of course. But other than that, I don't really watch Shudder that much. I'm always on Tubi. Hello, how are you? Sin666 the Pug. Yes, all the Insidious movies are PG-13 as well. And they're all pretty consistent. I always like to tell y'all the ratings and how long they are, because if a movie is like well over 2 hours, I know some people don't like that. I can kind of lose interest with an over 2 hour movie sometimes. But like all the Insidious movies, they're pretty consistent about being like an hour and like 42, 43 minutes long. Part 3 is actually like an hour and 30 something minutes long, but whatever. And then let's see, 1 and 2 is on Max. 3 is on Tubi, and I do not know where part 4 is streaming. I could not find it streaming anywhere. I'm so sorry. And I don't know. It's really weird. I thought they were all streaming on Tubi, but they're not. The only one that ever popped up was part 3. So, I don't know. Whatever. Oh, that horror couple. Have y'all not seen Summer of Fear yet? If you haven't, please watch Summer of Fear. And that came out the year I was born, 1978. All right, next movie. Let me get my notes. I make notes. The Meg. Okay. This came out in 2018. It is a little bit long, an hour and 54 minutes. It is also PG-13. God, did everything I watch is PG-13? That's funny. And it is streaming on Max. And I put Jason Statham in a smiley face. I love Jason Statham, so I'm all about watching anything that he's in. And I'm talking about this movie now because this is the first time I watched The Meg. Why I never watched it when it came out or earlier, I don't know. I just hadn't. But I know The Meg 2 is coming out. It looks pretty interesting. And my manager, Brian, y'all know Brian, he is a huge shark movie fan. So when I watched The Meg, I was just like, I don't know what to watch. And I just turned that on. And I'm glad I watched it. And I'm glad that I watched it. Let's just say that. It was action-packed. It was fun. Really, you know what? It's just a fun action movie. Special effects, you get a lot of CGI, obviously, and I had read that they couldn't make the shark. I can't say the word megalodon. Megalodon. That's the type of shark it is, which was back in like dinosaur days. But they couldn't make the shark look exactly like what a megalodon actually looks like, because I guess they're like white, and they couldn't make it white because it just didn't work on camera, on film. So they made it look like what they did. But that's what it's supposed to be, is a megalodon. And I think there's a movie called Megalodon, isn't there? I think they made more shark movies with those in it. But there's plenty of homages in the movie, homages to Jaws in the movie. I know a lot of people want to compare it to Jaws, but let me say this. Let's not compare any shark movie to Jaws, because y'all, is any shark movie ever going to be better than Jaws? No, I don't think so. I don't know, maybe some people might like some of these other shark movies more than Jaws, but I haven't seen anybody say that yet. So, I mean, let's not compare it, because it's just never going to compare to Jaws. But they did some really nice scenes in there that were an homage to Jaws. So that was really cool. Like, there's a whole scene of everybody, in the water. And you get the mom that's on the beach trying to find her kid when the shark's in the water and there's chaos going on and all that. And you see the mom running around the beach trying to find her kid, like, oh my God, and she's discovering he's in the water. And then he's the kid that gets ate up by the shark. They do that in Jaws, and they did it in this movie. They showed that. And there was something else. I can't remember what it was right now, though. But there was something else that was an homage to it, too. But I just thought that was pretty cool. For me, the CGI worked for this particular movie, so I didn't mind any of the CGI. It's just a fun, action-packed shark movie. It's not to be taken seriously. It's just fun. I highly suggest it. I wrote down that I liked the scene with the guy in the ball. I thought that was funny. So there was a guy, when they're on the water, or when they're all in the water and the chaos is happening because the shark is there and starting to eat people, there's a guy inside this like big inflatable ball thing. He's inside it, and he's just running in this ball, trying to get the ball, and he's just going across the water, trying to get to the shore. He's just going, and he's just going, and then all of a sudden the shark comes up and boom, and gets him in the ball. It's probably not supposed to be funny, but I thought it was funny. That's why I wrote that down in my notes, because I thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh my God. He just came up and boom, got the ball with the dude in it, and he's gone. So that was fun. See, no shark film comes close to Jaws. Featured with the punches of Statham. Yep. Deep Blue Sea and open water. I don't like sharks. Oh, okay. Deep Blue Sea's good. I like Deep Blue Sea. I don't know which one I like better. I think I like Deep Blue Sea still a little bit better than the Meg, but the Meg would be like a good third. So, Jaws. Oh no, because I like Jaws too. Jaws 2, Deep Blue Sea, and the Meg. Yeah. Is there an homage to Pippet from Jaws? I think so. There was a few in there. I should have wrote them all down, and I didn't do that. I like to write more notes down when I watch these movies, but then I get so into trying to pay attention to everything into the movie. If I look down and start writing, then I'll miss something on the TV, or I'll lose thought or whatever. So I should have wrote all that down. Oh, Sharknado's fun. Yes, thank you for mentioning Sharknado. I don't know why I forgot about Sharknado, but yes, Sharknado is fun. It's completely ridiculous, but it's fun. I have a Sharknado Funko Pop, and I love it. I don't have the bloody one, though. I need the bloody Sharknado Funko Pop. I just have the regular one. Please tell Brian number 2 we said hi. That horror couple said hi, Brian. Today's your mom's birthday? Oh, we'll tell her happy birthday. Give her a big hug for me. That's awesome. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. They're loving all the deadly destinations and TikToks. That's awesome. We like doing the deadly destinations. I love doing the deadly destinations. I really like that one. I think they're fun. Could probably punch Godzilla. Oh my God, you just made a whole new movie. Jeff said Jason Statham could probably punch Godzilla. Oh my God, that's going to be the next Godzilla movie now. Jason's going to be in. He's going to be punching Godzilla. And King Kong. Oh my God, that would be awesome. Uh-oh, you just made something there, Jeff. All right. So next movie I did see, and I didn't put this on my Instagram or my Twitter that I watched this movie when I posted all the movies that I was going to talk about for this, because I don't know why, but I forgot that I watched it. And it's not bad. That's not why I forgot. I just forgot. But I did finally watch The Pope's Exorcist. I just went ahead and just rented it for $5.99 on Amazon, because it went down to $5.99. I was like, to hell with it. Let's just rent it and let's get it watched. I've been wanting to watch it. It's not bad. I seen when it came out, a lot of people were like, oh, it just sucks, and people just hated it. I didn't think it was that bad. There were some elements in it towards the last half of the movie that got maybe a little boring here and there, but for the most part, I thought it was a decent exorcism movie. You get everything with the priests and the Vatican and all that, and I thought Russell Crowe did a pretty good job. I don't know if maybe, because when you have the boy in there and he's possessed, then you're just your brain kind of goes to Reagan and Exorcist. And I don't want to compare it, but if you compare it, as far as that, nothing really beats Linda Blair's performance being a kid at that time and being possessed, and the makeup that they did for The Exorcist. I think the boy in this did a decent job, and the makeup was pretty cool and stuff, but I don't think that his possession probably would deliver as well as Linda Blair's possession that she portrayed in her movie. So if we want to compare, that's just kind of how I feel about that. But the boy did an excellent job, and the makeup was not that bad. I really didn't write any notes or anything down as I watched it, but I don't want to give any spoilers or anything if you haven't watched it. But I mean, I recommend it just for like a first time. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I'm glad I rented it, because I don't know if it's going to be a movie that I would want to be like, oh, hey, I want to watch The Pope's Exorcist today. It's not one of those I don't think I can watch over and over, but I didn't hate it. I would probably give it a 6, maybe. Yeah, about a 6. I give The Meg a good 8. And I give it an 8 for fun. But I highly suggest Pope's Exorcist. Like I said, I rented it for $5.99, and I know some people just going out and buying it. But I mean, if you like exorcism type films and possession stuff and religious horror, then you'll like this movie, I think. I know when it came out, though, everybody was like, the only good thing about it was Russell Crowe. And yeah, he was good about it. But some of the other, I mean, of course, when you're going religious horror and possession, I mean, it's just going to have, every movie is just going to have a lot of the same types of elements in it, because that's just what goes with religious horror possession stuff. Like, once you get to the church, there's always like a bleeding Jesus Christ or bleeding Mother Mary or something. You got bleeding statues. Of course, it happens in this movie. You always get that in these types of movies, but maybe a few little things here and there are predictable, but it was not that bad at all. I was thinking that it was just completely horrible. I've seen worse. I just suggest it just for a one-time watch, maybe. I'm not going to ever tell anybody not to watch something, but you come up with your own conclusions and your own opinion about it. What are y'all saying? Pope's Exorcist on DVD was okay. We definitely agree. Okay. Yeah. Unhinged, the shockingly good Russell Crowe horror film. Unhinged. Didn't Brian say something about Unhinged on the podcast about Russell Crowe? Didn't he say that? And I was like, oh, what's that? Yeah. Yeah, somebody else is mentioning it too. Yeah, I haven't watched that. I'll have to watch that one, though. Rosemary's Baby are finally getting a 4K release. Just don't know when here in the U.S. Oh, yeah. I seen that. I'm not a huge fan of Rosemary's Baby. I find it a bit boring. Just saying. The Exorcist remake is coming. Yep. It was really bad. Russell Crowe and The Mummy was really bad. I'm not a big Mummy fan of that particular movie. I don't know why I'm not. So I don't remember Russell Crowe's performance in that. It's been a very long time since I've watched that movie. Have you watched Pope's Exorcist, Elaine? Did you like it? I know you're saying you have the DVD, but have you watched it yet, though? Let's see. I really like Oh, yes. That's a good one, Michael. Michael, the mayor, says he really likes The Last Exorcism. I do too. I have both 1 and 2 on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever I've got. Yeah, I like that one too. I love The Last Exorcism. When that came out, man, that shit was freaking creepy. Her crawling up the walls and ceiling, and now I feel like you see that a lot in a lot of movies now. A lot of people crawling around on walls and ceilings. But that was a good one. I like that one too. That's probably one of my favorite exorcism movies besides The Exorcist, actually. So, all right. I watched one other movie. It's a Tubi original. I'm watching my Tubi originals for y'all. I'm really not sure. If I really like this one. It's the Deep Web Murder Show. It just came out. It's about an hour and 20 minutes long, which I'm glad it was only an hour and 20 minutes long. Just saying. It's another one of those movies where, okay, so like all of the bad people in it that are wearing the like when you see the poster for this movie, there's a clown. So all of like the bad people in the murder show are all wearing masks, some sort of clown, or there's a broken doll looking girl that's running around, but they're all wearing masks. And they're all really cool looking. They look like, characters that would be in a really, really good haunted house. So I liked all those characters, but that's really about all I liked. I think I'm kind of getting over movies about social media, even though that's just what everything evolves around. But it keeps getting played out and played out. And this movie is about a guy he has his own like true crime podcast type thing, and then his sister is, I think, was she kidnapped or killed? I can't remember. It got a little weird towards the end. His sister is killed by this deep web murder, and it's called Murder Show. This show that's on the web, and so he's going to go investigate it, and go find out what happened to his sister. And basically, there's this show that's on the internet called the Murder Show, and it's where they go off and kidnap people and put them in cages, and then us regular people can bid on how that person gets killed, and then you watch it. So it's like that. Kind of Hostel-ish, but for the internet. Right? That's kind of like that. And that's what the story's about. It's like, okay, I've seen this kind of story before. The acting I didn't think was like all that great. The lead actor, he's cute. He was doing okay when he's not crying. There's parts at the beginning where he's just crying a lot because it's about his sister, or she's dead. That's right, because they went to the funeral. Excuse me. And it just, I don't know, wasn't working. But on a bright note for the movie, so the guy teams up with somebody else to figure all this all out, right? And there's another guy that's like this internet genius dude that they go and talk to try to get him to help them, investigate this web murder show and disband it, and get rid of him. And that particular character is played by Brendan Fletcher, who in Freddy vs. Jason. So he's in this. He's probably the comic relief of the movie. He's a big stoner, so he's like, always acting like that. But he was probably the one part of the movie that I did like. If you watch the movie and you look very closely in his apartment that he lives in, he does have a Jason mask and Freddy glove hung up on the wall. I noticed that just real off to the side. You got to really be looking around the screen, and you're like, oh, look, there's a Freddy mask or Jason mask and a Freddy glove. So I thought that was a nice little Easter egg in there, since he was in Freddy vs. Jason. But that's really all I have to say about it. I didn't think it was all that fantastic. It's just another mediocre to be original for me, so I give it just a straight 5. You may love it though, so I suggest watching it. There is some blood and gore in there. The special effects are okay. I just kind of like the haunted. It's not a haunted house, but I'm just gonna call them that. The haunted house characters that are in the movie. All the people that are in the murder show, murdering all these people. I thought they were all very cool looking. There's a few. I think there's like 4. I think they showed 3 or 4 different types of characters, and they were all very cool looking. So I did like that part. And then I was reading about the movie, and apparently And I'm extremely sorry to hear this. But the writer-director of the Deep Web Murder Show, Dan Zachary, did pass away this past New Year's Eve in the hospital. I was trying to find more out about him, and then I came up with that, and I didn't know that happened. So, sorry to hear that, but the web show is his last movie, though. So, so there's that. Sounds like Hostel meets Saw meets The Strangers. Good way to put it. But on the internet. Yes. Hey, Noah. Seen Let's Talk. No, I have not seen Let's Talk. Oh, Leslie Nielsen. Oh, wait, let me go back up and read this. 18 minutes. It sucks. It feels like 3 hours. Oh, Repossessed was fun. Oh, yes. I'm going backwards reading y'all's comments. Repossessed is funny. I remember when that came out, I watched it on HBO, and the very first time I was like, oh, I want to watch this comedy movie with Linda Blair doing The Exorcist again. That's going to be cool. And I didn't like it at first when I was a kid, but later on it grew on me, and I like it now. So I need it in my collection. Do they have a Blu-ray? I don't have a Blu-ray. But yes, that's funny. Oh, okay, Elaine, you've seen it in the cinema. Yep. All right. So that's really about it for movies, y'all. That's all I really watched. So go watch the Insidious franchise. Watch all of them before you watch Red Door. It's kind of fun to do that. Like I said, 1 and 2 are on Max, and 3 is on Tubi, and I don't know where you can watch 4 though. And then 5 is obviously at the movie theater. And then The Meg, watch that on Max. The Deep Web Murder Show, that's a Tubi original. Pope's Exorcist, I rented on Amazon. And Summer of Fear is also on Tubi. So, go check all those out. And when you do, message me and tell me how you liked them. Especially Summer of Fear. I really want y'all to go watch Summer of Fear if you have not yet. That's the movie out of all these I really would like for y'all to go watch. It's probably the most simple movie out of all of these, but it's just great. It's just great. All right, so let's talk about new products. We literally just got these in today. These are from Super 7, the Return of the Living Dead figures. These are so cool, y'all. I am so in love with these. Ugh. But I think Brian would have. They should be on the website right now. I don't know, but Brian said he was going to put them up there very quickly after we got done doing the podcast. So you get Trash and you get Suicide. Those are very cool. I love those. And then we also got in from NECA. We got in this Iron Maiden Peace of Mind head knocker, which is really, really, really cool looking. I love the sculpt on these head knockers. It's gorgeous. And then we also got in these Foxy tie-dye plushies from Five Nights at Freddy. We haven't had Five Nights at Freddy merch in a minute, and we've been getting asked a lot for it, so we just randomly got these in the other day. I remember ordering these, but it's been a while. That's cute though. So you can get these. All this is online and in store. So he's cute. And then speaking of Five Nights at Freddy, I seen the trailer last night when I went to go watch the Red Door, and I'm actually intrigued. I have not played the games, but I don't think I need to play the games. I don't know, but it looks pretty good. I'm actually excited about that. And then you got Josh Hutcherson and then Matthew Lillard. So, hey, yeah, why not? So I'm going to watch that one. I'm excited to see it. And then we also got in, I didn't show these last week because I think we got them in on Thursday. But these are also from Super 7. They just decided to make some plushies all of a sudden. And they are the Haunted Mansion Ghosts, the Hitchhikers. So we also got these in as well. These are online and in store. Those are cute. I like that Super 7's doing Haunted Mansion stuff. And that's going to be coming out, and we're going to watch that and cover the Haunted Mansion on the podcast too. So let's talk about the podcast. So like I said, Friday we talked about Insidious Red Door, so watch that. Next week we are going to have Tom Devlin on the podcast. I can't wait. That's going to be great. It's going to be a fun one. And we're just going to talk about everything that he's doing, his movies, his museum, his school, his everything that he's doing. So we'll have him on, and we're going to talk about his new movie he just put out called Teddy Told Me To. I think me and Brian are going to ask him a little bit about that as well. We've already watched it, but I'm going to watch it again before Tom gets here. So that's going to be a fun one next week. And then the week after that, we're going to do The Flood, which is another new movie that Devaney Penn is in. We had an interview with her not too long ago on here. So we're excited to watch The Flood. I think it's a big crocodile. And then the week after that, going into August, we'll do Haunted Mansion the first week of August. We're going to talk about that, watch it and talk about that. And then I don't have anything else scheduled. But those are the movies and the things we'll be talking about in the next coming weeks. So Tom Devlin, The Flood, and Haunted Mansion. I am glad that everybody enjoyed. I had gotten a lot of messages last week after my live show with my daughter. I very much appreciate all the compliments. Everybody said they had fun watching me and my daughter, so thank you very much. It was sad for her to go home. But I did want to mention to you guys, because we mentioned it last week, about Mortal Kombat. And that night, she hadn't watched the new movie. She's all about the original Mortal Kombat movies. And so that night when we came home, we watched it. We watched Mortal Kombat. And she still likes the original Mortal Kombat movie just a little bit more than the new movie. But she liked it, though. So yeah. Just wanted to say that we did watch it, and she did like it, but she still likes the original better. Hello, Lester. How are you? Hello, Captain Spaulding. Tattooed and had to say hi in chat. What did you get tattooed? Ooh. Who's smoking hot? Devaney? Who's smoking hot? I said her. Is that what you're talking about? Hello, Cody. How are you? Thank you for joining in, Cody. I hope you're doing well. Hello, Anthony. How are you doing? Thank you for joining in. Annihilation sucked. I did see Evil Dead Rise. I talked about it last week. Yes, Noah, we're doing Haunted Mansion just for you. Did you see the plushies? My best friend Noah is so into Haunted Mansion. He loves it. Plushies just for you. You're fighting a headache. I'm sorry. Does anything help? Do you take any Excedrin or Advil or Tylenol? Yes, Devaney is hot. I agree, Jeff. Did you watch the interview that we did with her? It was a good interview. All right, what is next? Let's see. What else was I going to talk about? Midsummer Scream is in 2 weeks, 28th, 29th, and 30th. So we will be there. So I hope to see all y'all in California at Midsummer Scream. I can't wait for that. Tom Holland is going to be there, and I'm excited to get his autograph and meet him. So can't wait for that. And then Creep IE-Con will be our next one, but that's not until September. So, and I don't think we don't have anything scheduled yet. We're still working on some signings and some other stuff. Let's see. You got the Jamboree is coming up in October, so we're hoping to be a part of the Jamboree. And if you don't know what the Jamboree is, that's Joe, Bob, and Darcy. They're coming in October for the Jamboree. That's going to be fun. But we don't have anything, like I said, scheduled for any signings yet, but we're still working on it. We're still trying to figure it out. I think we might have something worked out with some Five Nights at Freddy actors. Our agent is trying to, our agent that we use is, trying to get them out there a little bit. And I think we're trying to get them scheduled, I think maybe for September, like the first weekend of September. And then, Five Nights at Freddy will come out in October. So that'd be kind of cool. And Peter is our agent. He said that there are some good 8x10s and posters that they have for people to sign. So that'd be kind of really cool to meet them before the movie coming out and get some posters or pictures or whatever with them. Just, maybe something a little different. So we might be doing that. I think that'll be fun. We have a lot of people that come in asking for Five Nights at Freddy stuff. So I think maybe having some of the actors that are going to be in the movie that are voicing the characters, I think would be really cool. So I think we're kind of working on that right now, and a few other people, a few other things too. Let's see. Will you review the other Haunted Mansion movie from 2003? You mean the one with the comedy one? I don't know. I mean, I guess we could probably talk about it a little bit. I don't see why not. Yeah, why not? Willy's Wonderland. I didn't care for Willy's Wonderland. I started it and I just wasn't caring for it and I turned it off. Maybe I don't know. I might have been having a bad day or got distracted or whatever. Maybe I need to go back and watch it because I do like Nicolas Cage. I know a lot of people like that movie. With Nicholas, it's still on Hulu. Okay, well, I'll have the one with Eddie Murphy. Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that too. Yeah, why not? We sure can. Yeah, when I hear that too, that Nicolas Cage was really good in that movie, and I know a lot of people like it. So I don't know. Maybe I need to go revisit it. I think I got that happens sometimes. I start watching a movie and I'm like, oh, I don't like it, but I think sometimes I get distracted with other things going on, and then I just say that. So I need to go back and watch it and give it a try. What else? I felt like there was something else I was going to tell y'all, but I cannot remember what it is. I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's all I really have to talk about. Yep, I think so. Okay. Well, next week, like I said, we are going to be having Tom Devlin on, so get ready for that. And I will watch a whole bunch of other movies. Hopefully Tubi will come out with some more Tubi originals for me to review for y'all. And I guess I will see y'all next week. All right. Well, you guys have a spooky day, and I love y'all. Bye.